Hey, y'all, it's great to see you. Come on in.
We have a new seasonal today from Subtle Art Soap Company.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. It's great to see you. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres, come on in the live chat. Meet us. Meet the Whiff Pack, a cool group of folks hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, over at Sterling, they tend to drop some new scents in their bar soaps to see what we all think first. And today, we have bourbon pumpkin to try.
Yeah, y'all, apple, waffle, eggnog. There are some phenomenal seasonals that have dropped just in the bar soap, but if we like them enough and we let Rod know, that's how they someday become full-size sets of aftershave and shaving soap. So this is the bourbon pumpkin. Let's see, what do you think? Do you want to read from the sales page?
Yeah, let's read first. An intoxicating warm fragrance with pumpkin and bourbon blended. Ooh, with a sweet maple and brown sugar. Those are Marcus's favorite words here.
Take it in. See
I'm going first. All right, let's see.
Now, these generally bloom a little bit better once they're in the shower. They've had some water on them, but we'll do our best here.
Oh, it does have a sweeter side to this, and it's brighter than I thought. I don't know why I thought like the bourbon was going to make it a little deeper and darker.
Yeah.
There are spices happening here, but the pumpkin and bourbon
is it boozy?
Not as boozy as I thought. It's actually a much more uplifting. I don't know if that makes sense. Like it's a brighter, fun, daytimey kind of scent. I thought it was gonna be like a nightcap kind of vibe.
I get much more of the spices and brown sugar. I don't get much of the boozy note yet.
No, and the pumpkin's actually really attractive in here. It's different than the pumpkin spice. It's kind of brighter.
This is a masculine autumn spice.
Yeah.
What a beautiful scent.
Okay, so we put our vote in as yes, please, to a shave soap.
Yeah,
in case you had noticed.
I don't even get much pumpkin. Do you get much pumpkin?
Yeah, no. I think I get more pumpkin than I get the bourbon, surprisingly. At least in the bar soap formation. But it's enjoyable. It's kind of bright and fun. I feel like the whole family would like this.
Right, to go along with sweet pecan and those kind of things.
Yeah.
Y'all, love that. And what's our soap today? I think they knew the rule that anytime Marcus sees the word caramel, I have to hit purchase.
And that's exactly what I did. I got his caramel tobacco because we just had a few. Witchcraft and Dakotas and new ones from them that we were kind of surprised. So I can't imagine what they're going to do with these.
Ooh, Subtle Art has been blowing our skirts way up over our heads this season. We are so excited for this one. Let's meet the soap. All right, y'all. So from the sales page at subtleartsoap.com.
Sweet and smooth. That's what you get when you combine fine tobacco with buttery caramel. A scent inspired by one of my favorite flavored, quote, dessert cigars. The scent is smooth and creamy, as you might expect.
What's a dessert cigar? Is it cake? Fine tobacco infused with brown sugar, sweet cream, and a bit of vanilla.
So that's the dessert, my friend.
It's like he can see my dreams. An exceptional dessert cigar to relax with after dinner. That's the scent we have created here.
So more of a nightcap kind of thing.
A dessert cigar! I'm going to have to take up smoking. All right, y'all, I'm excited. Let's open the box. This is how they come from Joe and Sadie from Subtle Art. Whoa,
there's some confetti.
And y'all, I don't mean to alarm you, but this looks like it might be a note! It's a note, y'all! Thank you, Sarah and Marcus. We truly appreciate the support from Joe and Sadie.
Aww.
Thanks, y'all. We appreciate the soaps.
There's things.
Wait, what?
You get some of those.
Y'all, we got some shark blades! All right, exceptionally sharp and exceptionally well priced, those shark blades.
We didn't get this one yet, but
excuse me?
some leather tobacco. That was the other one that came out. Caramel tobacco and leather tobacco.
A sample for y'all, because we don't want to spoil a full-size episode someday. So we're going to send this out to a Whiff Pack member. Details to come. All right. What do we got? Oh, there's the other one we ordered.
This one's coming for January,
yeah, you
y'all,
guys didn't see this, but I wanted something for
emerald
early
oil,
spring,
and then here it is. There you go.
I'm so excited about this, y'all. This is the caramel tobacco. And y'all did notice... It did sell out. It's coming back, but this one went fast. So go over to the website and check it out.
I don't know if it's been out before, but we are happy to get our noses on this.
Is that a cinnamon roll? Oh, that's a little caramel, of course.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
But all of that sounds good. We will eat all of those.
I just love the vibe of all this so far. And y'all, these labels are not to be printed on your living room printer. These are special. Like, look at the detail on these.
I think you're going to have our first impression, my friend.
You know, I'm not going to fight you on that. All right, here we go, yo.
Okay.
The shaken clam, taking it in. I'm not even going to show the pour yet. I want the full potency of this thing. Here we go.
A dessert cigar.
I love this.
That was washing over waves.
Y'all, everything we have so far that is a tobacco with a sweet, it's a fruit or it's something more natural.
Not true.
Y'all.
Some sweet cream, some
This
things.
is a tobacco with a candy, with a creamy candy.
Woo,
I love
woo.
that. Hold on, this is different. This is a cigar on Halloween night. Are you kidding
it
me?
is sweet.
Y'all, this is fabulous. And the caramel is unique. It is not the caramel that you're thinking, because we've had a couple of caramel notes before. This is more of a spicy, almost
Oh, it said buttery. Is that in there?
a buttery, spicy. It's giving me kind of the vibes of like Halloween candy wrappers going on with the Cuban cigar.
Okay.
Whoa, hold on.
Who knew they needed to be together? Okay.
Oh, and I'm getting about 60% the caramel candied scents and about 40% the cigar. I was really thinking like the tobacco would be like the primary star here. It's not. They named it right. It is caramel tobacco.
Definitely up your alley.
The sweets are the star. Whoa,
Is the sweet cream? Do you get any lactonic stuff in there?
You know, I don't get a traditional lactonic, but it is creamy in a different way. And it's not using like grasses or herbs to make the cream. No.
Okay.
It's a very creamy sense, but I think it's the creamy inside the caramel.
Right.
I think it's the creamy with a little bit of burnt brown sugar. It's something like that. And then I love that where the caramel meets the tobacco, there's also something a little mysterious kind of swirling around in there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was actually going to ask, like when you take your whiffs, does it feel like there's like different tiers to this?
Right.
Or is it just like the sweet takes you in and then you just go for the ride to the spice?
You know what's interesting? It's not like too candied of a caramel.
Okay.
I get this sense of like the caramel wrapper, but there's something about the sweet that's been dialed back so that it doesn't take over the tobacco. Because I think if the caramel were too sweet, that's kind of all you would sense, right? Y'all, I think there's been something magical done in here with that sweet. I think it's been dialed back so that you're getting a little bit more of like a spicy caramel mixed with the buttery creaminess so that it doesn't have to get too sweet.
Oh, and then there is definitely a tobacco in there, but it's more the spice that comes through first.
100%, but I'm getting the sweet and the spice and the candy first without it getting so sweet that you're not sensing craving the cigar in the middle of it.
Interesting.
And you know what? The tug of war is so fast in this between the caramel and the tobacco that it's almost like I'm not getting a full sense of either one. I'm getting a giant sense of the personality that they're coming together in the middle to create. Okay. So am I getting like tobacco out of this? Not entirely. Am I getting like a caramel candy out of this? Not entirely. I'm getting something in the middle as if the tobacco had natural notes of caramel to it in the first place, or the caramel had a subtle tobacco flavor. Like it's something like that.
That's funny because I was going to ask, are you more in the gourmand lane or like on a masculine side? And it seems like you're stuck right in the middle.
I'm glad you asked that. You know what's curious? Not a gourmand at all. My mouth doesn't water. My brain does. This is a clever scent, y'all. Hold on. Wait, I need
dessert
one
cigar.
More.
Who knew?
But you don't eat the cigar. There's something about the cigar that has a subtle sweetness to it that makes you want to enjoy the dessert, makes you want to enjoy the cognac or the whiskey. Right. But the cigar itself isn't what's sweet. And I love that is being mirrored here. That this is like something to complement a dessert. It's not sweet like a dessert. I am loving this. Well, and two, a corollary for that is sometimes when I do want something sweet and masculine, I don't want it too sweet on my face. I don't want it too gourmandy on my face, or I feel like I'm Mrs. Doubtfire going, hello! And this is that perfect balance between something that's almost gourmandy and something that's masculine and super charming as a caramel your grandpa would offer you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, y'all, this is special. This is not balanced in the way you think it would be.
Interesting. So you're glad that you haven't shaved yet today because this may be your evening shave, I'm sensing.
I'm so happy about this right now. Yeah, this will for sure. Okay. I need you to know what this is.
I feel like you explained it really well, but I still feel like I'm going to have no idea once I get my nose on it.
Right.
Like that I wasn't expecting this type of scent.
And it's not like a dark, swirling, mysterious scent. Okay. It's a bright, friendly, familiar scent. This is something you already know. Does that make sense?
Okay.
All right, take it in. See what you get.
I'm going for it. A caramel tobacco.
Right.
We have not had this yet.
Without anything too strong in either one of those directions. That's how they're coming together in the middle, at least for me.
Could you tell that it was a subtle art? Now, this is our fourth one.
Oh!
Could you tell that this was kind of in their lane? It's different from their other ones.
This is a really good compliment. Not really.
Okay.
Once I was told, I'd be like, yeah, I can kind of tell in the base stuff.
Right.
But generally, y'all, well done. If you cannot tell from one soap to the other that those are from the same artisan, right? It's kind of like shaking the Etch-a-Sketch, right? They start over, and I love that. There's not like, well, because some artisans do start with about kind of what we judge is about 40% the same.
Like their vibe comes through.
Every soap. And there is one artisan that I will put it under Sarah's nose. Y'all know Sarah's nose. And she kind of can't tell the difference.
Like if I didn't see the label, I would know the company, but I can't always pick the right answer on the
Because what the perfumer starts with is 40% the same.
Yeah.
This is different.
So
Joe and Sadie, they are starting over with these. There is nothing witchcraft in here. There is nothing draconis in here. But the asterisk on that is there might be one spice scent note in here that is the commonality.
Interesting.
Just one. Just
in a good way.
Just all right, here we go. Just a signature on the bottom of the painting. You know, just that. Just,
see if I can figure it out.
Oh. Right?
Yeah, that is a fun, different.
I know. Not what you were expecting.
No.
Now talk about the sweet. Is it not as sweet as you thought it would be?
It's its own type of sweet.
Right.
I don't think I'm taking a bite immediately from caramel. Right. I almost got like a creme brulee, like the burnt part on top. Like that, the burnt, but kind of caramelized sugar.
Yes, right.
Like I kind of get that part.
Yes, turn down the vanilla, but a creme brulee kind of scent.
Like that.
Right.
That's the more image-wise that I'm not getting like just straight up caramel. There's something fancy happening to it.
Almost a smoky sugar.
Yeah,
thing, right?
Oh, it has such nice spicy parts.
Yeah.
And there are the part that just has a little depth to it is more the tobacco is in there.
Right.
But it is the most approachable side of the tobacco.
Right.
So they do blend so well that they almost like disappear into each other.
And isn't this interesting? I don't find that the tobacco is smoky at all.
No.
I find that the caramel is.
Yes.
So like
I'm with you.
Whoa, nice flip of the coin there, Joe.
And it's not a completely dehydrated tobacco to me.
No.
Like it feels like it's more, I don't want to say chewing tobacco, but it has more of like it's still more in the brown category.
Yeah.
So the coloring of the tobacco and caramel really do
it's in the
disappear.
humidor still.
That's the
they're
word.
kind of the same color. Right, yeah.
But it's funny. I feel like if I hugged somebody wearing this, I would not want to let go. There's something super cozy and like just friendly about this scent.
Right. And that this could be the vibe a real person might put off. I mean, look, let's have a grown-up conversation. Nobody actually walks around smelling naturally like green Irish tweed. You have to spray that on, right?
Yeah.
But this is something when I hugged my grandpa that he might just naturally smell like, right?
And I think that's what keeps it from being a complete gourmand because it is more that vibe zone.
Right, because you don't want to eat your grandpa.
Do you get a little blue sugar from this?
This is not a far walk. Y'all, it's an EDP called Blue Sugar. We're not even sure who makes it.
Right.
Yeah, that's in there. Kind of a birthday party sense to it, right?
But it's the more masculine side.
Right,
It's a little bit more of an adult birthday party, but still has the fun energy and the gentle sweet. And it's like the end of the night where you can sense the energy in the room.
Right.
Like everyone's had a great time. Everyone got along. Everyone was laughing and just enjoying themselves.
Right.
Like you're almost sad the night's over. Like there's something in this scent that I'm like, if I lay down on my pillow and I got a whiff of this, I'd be like, yeah, that was a good night.
But it's funny because they call that EDP blue sugar.
Yes.
There's not like a tobacco sense to it. And if I just adjust my nose a tiny bit, I can totally find it in there. But then with a little tobacco, with a little caramel thrown in. Yo, one of my favorite scents might have just gotten a lot better.
I am super curious once this lathers up because that could change a little, but that's where our noses are for now.
And for our beautiful caramel and tobacco, I chose a bowl that was pretty much the caramel and tobacco color. This is my Captain's Choice Copper Bowl from Captain's Choice. Love that.
A nice soft.
Oh, right. I'm just going to use that much. Going to push it into the ridges of the bowl. And my brush today was a gift from Jeremy Fletcher at the very beginning of our journey. This was the mountain hair brush that he made for me. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you, Jeremy.
That's such a fun knot on there.
This thing. This is the first brush where I was putting on the soap for the first time, and I was like, this is what brushes can do.
Right, a big boy brush. We have upgraded.
So, y'all, I just give a quick vertical bloom to the soap by spraying the water on it, and then I go about just getting that soap transferred onto the bristles of the brush. Clockwise, counterclockwise, and then spin the brush. Clockwise, counterclockwise, and then spin the brush. We're just trying to load that soap onto the bristles with the expediency of Jackrabbit on a date. And then I'm going to go down here into the water, and I'm going to bring that up to the soap. And then we're making the soap in between the bristles of the brush and not just against the bottom of the bowl. And I think you get a much Faster,
look at that
better.
lather. Woo-wee!
Lather that way, y'all. There it is.
So I don't know if y'all have noticed, but on the label, this is actually a veterans-owned soap company, which is super cool because tomorrow is actually Veterans Day.
Yeah,
so thank you for your service.
Yes.
There are a few other companies in this world that do have veterans that own it, and or maybe even law enforcement and stuff in here. So always check the label. It's very cool to
First
kind of support.
responders.
Right. So it's fun that more that we get to know some of these artisans, there's actually a fun backstory, and that this is just their new little fun hobby.
Even Craig, who makes our brushes, said he's an ICU nurse.
Right. So check out. It's really cool to get to know the artisans, but I wanted to make sure to do a shout out because tomorrow is Veterans Day and these lovely labels have that on here.
Yes,
so
we are from big military families. So Joe, Sadie, thank you for your service. Thank all of our veterans for your service. That gift does not go unheeded here at the Barbershop. Yeah, Rod and Mandy, they met in the service. Yeah, so it's very important to us here at the Barbershop, and we are very grateful.
I do wonder often if because they had to shave, that was part of the uniform, that's kind of something that really brought them into this world because I'm curious how people find this, but this is a wonderful way to enjoy that lovely routine.
Yes, right. And we're only about 30 minutes from Travis Air Force Base. We were thinking about going up there and doing a little workshop on traditional wet shaving. Or who knows?
Could be a fun idea.
Y'all, look at this base. I just love this combination of ingredients in the Subtle Art soap base and everything these butters are doing in here. Look at this. It's just yogurt. It's just like it's it's like its own being moving around here in the bowl like an octopus. So y'all, I know we never talk about lather here on the Barbershop Duet. But look at that, y'all. Is that beautiful? And when we do watch Joe do his shaving videos, we like to see how this lather coats the face. So, y'all, we don't do shaving here on the Barbershop Duet, but we'll show you how this covers.
Oh, my goodness.
Look at that. I don't even have a wet face.
I think we're going to have to rock, paper, scissors, and we see which splash we get from them first because
I know.
if these are what the soap smells like.
Yet.
Let's see. Oh,
what do you want? What do you want from me?
That's
Look at that. Look how thick that is already, right?
Yeah, I think his is a triple butter. He's got a lot of butters in his base. I forget which ones, but yes. So you can feel that.
Okay, slickness test. And that has
definitely passed.
Oh, I'm ready to get my razor under this stuff. Feel that.
Boy, yeah. Okay, do you think it's time that we check out this scent notes again?
I want to know exactly what's in here. All right, y'all, back to the sales page at subtleartsoap.com.
So the first thing listed is actually the brown sugar. So we were right with that sugar side.
Maybe not blue sugar, but brown sugar.
Okay, but brown sugar, I get it now. That's why I was thinking the caramelized, kind of creme brulee thing.
And look at my base. There's no molasses in here. This is a light, spicy brown sugar. This is not your dark brown sugar.
I know. I feel like I could go get the brown sugar from the kitchen. And somehow it's just so attractive. It
almost smells like raw sugar. So rather than the brown sugar, that
the
raw sugar that you can get, you steal it at Starbucks?
And then it lists the tobacco. But those are really good friends in this scent.
Right. Love that. And the tobacco in this is not really your traditional cured leaf. It's almost like a cigar that's kind of sitting on the table over there.
I wonder if they actually make a specific dessert style cigar. And it's based more on that. Because there's something different happening with the tobacco.
There are dessert wines. There are dessert liqueurs. So
someone can educate us.
Right. Well, I bet you it's something that would go along and complement something that was way sweeter. So that this is meant to go along with the cognac.
Something like that. That different type of nightcap kind of thing.
And then my two favorite scent notes of all time, we're going to end with sweet cream, and then where that meets vanilla. Are you kidding me? I just kind of want those two on their own first. And then we'll start adding in the other slowly. Look at that. That's beautiful. Now, it's funny. I don't get the sweet cream the same way I have in other scents as a lactonic. I'm getting it more in how the sweet is presenting and what makes it different from the vanilla. Because I get the vanilla, but I get the sweet cream separately, but I'm not sure how I'm sensing it. What are you getting?
Well, it's funny. At first, when I took my whiff, I was almost thinking it was more like when you have a homemade vanilla ice cream or something in that, like the French vanilla. There's something about that with the creamy ice cream side. But here, I think it's more like an actual sweetened cream.
Right.
It's and like what you'd use to make flan or something. Like there's something in that.
Yes, this is much more a flan sense than it is like an actual pail of milk sense. Because I think there's more to lactonic that kind of fools your brain into thinking you're smelling something that is a creamy base, right? But this isn't. This is more like I'm smelling an actual flan in a cupboard.
Yes. And it adds into the lather here somehow. Like my brain keeps seeing the creamy sweetness in the lather and forgetting that that's actually a scent note because it's really working here. And it's keeping it from getting too dark. It's keeping it from getting too sweet. Somehow that sweet cream is keeping it in that mid zone.
A custardy sense.
There you go.
That's what this is. Wow, beautiful. And then with the tobacco over the top of it, so that it's as if you are smoking your cigar while you are eating your custard.
I do get the tobacco throughout the scent, but then it starts off like a sweeter tobacco.
Right.
Then it kind of goes into that caramely side, and then the sweet cream side, and at the end, the vanilla and the leftover spices just kind of stay with you.
100%. So, y'all, I do have it on good authority that this cigar shop has a basement. Why don't we go down a floor or two?
So we've opened a good chunk of tobaccos by now.
Right.
But it's interesting because most of our tobaccos are not in the same lane.
Right.
Like you can really make that scent go in versatile different ways that you're not expecting. Like some kind of more with the drink side, some more with the leather side. It can be an interesting scent depending what's with it.
Yeah, but sometimes dark and spicy, but sometimes as light as like a hay note is where tobacco goes all the way in that direction, or just like the other way where it almost does present as almost like a tar or a molasses or something like that dark and rich. Where do you put this?
That's what I was trying to ask, because it's interesting. Like when we first got into this whole shaving world, we were first having to figure out that there were such thing as gourmands.
Right.
And then there were things like the barbershop lane, but that's multiple things in that lane.
Right.
And then same thing with the tobaccos there that has its like split off with the tobacco leathers, the vanilla tobacco is like super sweet.
Right.
Then like this is kind of, I know reading the title, it would be a gourmand kind of lane.
Yeah.
But to me, smelling it, it's more of like the caricature vibe side.
Right. I get an Ed Wynn in Alice in Wonderland, Mad Hatter kind of vibe from this. This is that curious, clever kind of a guy whose personality is going to take you a little bit of time to unpack. And
it's kind of like the most attractive side of the tobacco, if I had to pick.
Right.
Like it's a crowd pleaser kind of one. Like if you were hanging out with a lot of people together, they wouldn't be overwhelmed and be like, "Whoa, were you just smoking a cigar?"
Right.
Like that's not in there.
Now let's have a grown-up conversation. Inside of the cologne that we know as blue sugar, could you find a caramel tobacco? How much might have been added to this if this did start with blue sugar?
Interesting. Because I think in that scent, the star anise to me really takes over the scent that at least when I'm looking at the scent. Here, I don't really get that as much.
Right. Makes
So I
sense.
think that's where now that I know that my brain thinks that these could be friends, I almost want to go back and smell some of the other homages that we have because I'm curious if there is a hidden tobacco in there or if that's what's swopped, like the blue sugar with tobacco versus blue sugar with the anise star
and
side.
I think you're right. Without the anise, it has less of that sense of like that helium balloon note that you would get.
Right.
But this has more of a dapper, like natural sugary quality. But I don't think they are that strange a bedfellows. In fact, I think they would get mistaken for each other at a barbecue.
I can see that. So it's interesting. This is our second fall within the hobby.
Right.
And I feel like it's totally changed our way of looking at seasons. Now we need this tobacco to experience fall in the ways that we're expecting. And there's certain scents that I go to gravitate towards for the season for that exact reason.
Y'all, in the middle of summer, was I not craving this? This was one of the very first fall seasonals we ever opened here on the show. And it sure opened our eyes to using these to help celebrate the season. Or, as Douglas Smythe will remind you, I didn't make the beach for the middle of June. I made it for the middle of December when you're craving a big, hot summer day on the beach. That. So you got the best of both worlds. In the middle of autumn, they're here for you. But off season, when you are craving the leaves turning and the smell of smoke in the air, you can grab this from the cabinet and celebrate on your own.
I do feel like in my mind, I picture this because we're smelling it in fall, that my brain's going to go to grab it in fall. But I think you're right. This one, I really might gravitate towards a lot more throughout the year than I'm expecting.
I could see this being spring. I could see this being summer. There's parts of this that could be apropos any time. You know? Well, it's such a beautiful scent. I don't think it'd be a shame to lock it into a particular season.
No, I know it was kind of listed as an evening like nightcap kind of thing. But this, if you wanted to start the day with a smile on your face, this can totally start that off in a wonderful way.
Y'all, this is getting so heavy. I better put it down. So it's pretty simple. Y'all just go over to your friend's house. His grandma's going to be cooking something on the stove. When you look in the pot, it is a can of sweetened condensed milk, unopened, being boiled on the stove. And you're going to be like, hey, is your grandma starting to have her cheese slip off her cracker? And he's like, no, that's how we make caramel. And they got their own. So head over to subtleartsoap.com where you'll find this and a bunch of other really cool stuff. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with caramel tobacco. And you know what I love best? They have done caramel and tobacco in a way that has never been done before, in a beautiful, swirling, sweet quality that is way more caramel than tobacco and invites your nose into this Wonka-ish sense of smoke and chocolate and everything good about what's hiding inside of a cigar. And the base, y'all. Beautiful, trusty, smooth. My razor was fearless. Thanks, y'all. We've got one more. We have mine. Welcome to Messages.
So for our November giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to win $20 to Murphy and McNeil.
Yeah, y'all, and all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send an email here to wesetyou@thebarbershopduet.com so that we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways. And then come back for our very first Christmas episodes on November 30th to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck.
I love that we're getting the sense of one of our absolute favorite EDPs and then layered with two of our other most favorite scents in all the shaving world. This is a charmer.
This just reminds me of what life was like before wet shaving. I feel like we would have been missing out without it. We would have tried to find this in like a candle or something else to like make our lives be happy. But now we get to shave with this and go stand in our bathroom and smell it anytime we want.
Do you have any linen spray that smells like a birthday party? You don't. Mm-mm. Do you have what about a creamy tobacco and caramel? No, you don't. You have to go to the wet shaving world. But mysteries and wonders, y'all. Joe and Sadie, thank you for making such a beautiful, whimsical scent and making it in one of the most functional bases in our cabinet.
So we do have Emerald Fields waiting on the piano, but let us know if there's some other ones we should sneak onto our schedule because these are not just subtle, my friends. These are some good scents.
I have been eyeing Night Out. Maybe we'll save that for Valentine's Day.
There you go.
Hey, thanks, you guys.
Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.